Viewers, what we are learning at this point of time in terms of breaking news is the fact that West Asia war is to get messier, bloodier and longer. It is Donald Trump who's come out to vow weeks-long assault on Iran. Donald Trump to the United States media comes out to say, we'll batter Iran for weeks. We expect more US casualties. This is what we are coming to learn. This is Donald Trump making these very remarks. Let's first listen in to what exactly has been said by him before we get into a discussion with me.
Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there.
So the war is likely to get messier. That is what seems like if we take a look at the statement by US President Donald Trump, who has vowed weeks-long assault on Iran. Trump has told the US media that US will batter Iran for weeks. And Trump has also said that we expect more US casualties. So Trump has claimed that there could be more US casualties, but that will not stop US from attacking Iran further. In fact, Trump has clearly stated that this is going to continue for weeks. So it seems like the war is likely to get messier, bloodier and longer, as Donald Trump has clearly stated that there's no backing down on this, and that the attack on Iran is going to intensify in the coming weeks.
Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there.
So yes, viewers, this is what we are learning. And Anjali, you know, this comes in as very concerning what Donald Trump comes to be saying, because he seems very resolved, viewers, when it comes to this entire operation. It now comes to light that the operation was one that was very carefully planned and was long planned by the United States and Israel together, which is why consequences from the Iranian part was something they definitely expected. And that is what Trump, in fact, has to say, Anjali. That,
absolutely, Shreya. And in fact, what is also important to be noted is that Trump, on one hand, is urging Iran to lay down its arms and or face certain death. He is urging Iran to stop this war. But on the other hand, Donald Trump himself is claiming that this war will continue for weeks and that the US will continue and intensify its attack on Iran.
Absolutely, Anjali. In fact, we have more coming in from Donald Trump himself as to what he has to say on this entire matter. Let's quickly listen in to him first before we proceed with this discussion.
An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons, would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America," or "Death to Israel," or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, and police to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now again the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody.
So viewers, Donald Trump, very clear in terms of what he has to communicate to the entire world. And as we were mentioning, this is not a short escalation, short-spanned escalation that we're looking at in West Asia, because he is very clear that US will not stop till they have achieved their goal, which is to completely bring in the current Iranian regime to surrender to both Israel and United States. And Iran, on the other hand, has to say that they will not give in. They are wounded at this point, and that's where they're responding from. Anjali, how do you look at it?
Absolutely. And in fact, Sriya, we just saw and we also reported about the latest attack which was carried out by the United States, which involved the B-2 stealth bombers. And clearly, the US is targeting the underground missiles and the nuclear bases. And a similar attack was witnessed by all of us in June last year as well. So the United States motive remains clear, and both the sides remain defined. None of the sides are ready to stop this war, despite the US warning Iran that please lay down your arms or face certain death, but Iran remains defiant. And in fact, the United States also, on one hand, it claims that the war should stop, but on the other hand, the actions are contradictory, because in the latest B-2 stealth bombers, remember, B-2 stealth bombers were used on Iran. 1,000 kg of bomb was dropped on Iran.